Hey booktube, it's Jackie. How's it going? If you're new to me and it's the first time you're seeing my face, hello, what's up? My name's Jackie. I sit on my floor and I talk about books, so I hope that's why you're here, because that's what's gonna be happening. If you're not new to me, thank you for always tuning in and the continued support. I really do appreciate it. So today, normally I would be sitting on my floor talking about books, but today I'm gonna be sitting on my floor talking about myself. I'm gonna be answering all of your guys' questions that you left on my Q&A announcement video. If you're just seeing this video for the first time, about a week ago, I had just reached 300 plus subscribers. And as a thank you to my new subscribers and all my previous subscribers, I wanted to do a little Q&A video where I opened up the comments and allowed you guys to ask me whatever the hell you fucking wanted to ask me. Pretty much nothing was off the table. And you guys showed the fuck up. Oh my God. I just opened the comment section for the first time this morning when I went to go disable the comments on that video, and I got to see a few of them, and I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be interesting. I haven't been spoiled for all of them, but I got a glimpse of some of them. I'm just like, oh, I was not prepared. I am not prepared. So this is gonna be flying by the seat of my pants. We're gonna figure this out. We're going through this journey together, guys. We're gonna go through it together. So without further ado, grab yourself a drink, have yourself a seat, and let's get answering some of these questions. I like to state the fact that pumpkin spice is back at Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm very, very happy. Yeah, I'm that basic bitch. I like my pumpkin spice. All right. So the way this is gonna work is I've got my comment section right here, and I'm just gonna go through the line, and I'm going to try to pronounce everybody's names correctly. If I don't, I am very, very sorry. I'm really bad at pronouncing names, and we're gonna see where we're just gonna go with it. That's kind of how let's just get started. All right. I'm so nervous. I truthfully did not expect this many questions. So thank you so much, guys. This warms my heart and makes me so happy that you guys want to actually get to know me as well as some of these questions are showing up as. That's awesome. I had a nickname growing up, Jackie Jabberjaws. My mom used to call me that. Loving nickname, but it's because I used to talk a lot. And I still do. I love talking. And the fact that all of you guys want to hear me talk about books, about me, about my life, about just anything in general, it makes all those days where people used to make fun of me for talking so much worth it. So thank you, all of you, my new subscribers, my previous subscribers. You guys are amazing, and I love you guys. So, all right, now that we got the mushy stuff out of the way, and before I cry, let's get started. So my first comment is from Delia Favara, and Delia comments on literally every single one of my videos with these really cute emojis. Sometimes it's a heart with an arrow through it. Today it is a cat with heart eyes. And Delia, that's not a question, but I'm going to answer. I thoroughly appreciate this. I look forward to this comment because it makes me smile every time I see it. Like, it just makes my day. When it pops up on my phone, I'm like, oh yeah, I got the emojis. It just makes me happy. So thank you so much for doing that. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to it every single time. And when you changed it up on me, I was like, whoa, something's going on. She changed up her emojis. So I love it. So thank you so much for that. But Delia did ask some questions, so let's get to her questions. So the first question she has, and she has multiple. Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. What kind of music do you like? I like all different types of music. I can listen to damn near anything. I tend to gravitate towards rock music more, but growing up in the Midwest, country surrounds us. So, I mean, literally there's a cornfield in my backyard. If I were to move my camera to my window out here, you would see corn that is taller than me right now. So I'm like I'm in the thick of it. So country music is all around me. So I know a lot of country music, and I do listen to some of it. I do listen to rap music, not as much as, I don't know as much as my daughter does, but I know like the nice 2000s rap era. Yeah, you know, Missy Elliott, Busta Rhymes. I know that stuff. Yeah. But I also grew up in the 90s and 2000s, so I have Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, all that pop music, the boy bands. Like, I just have a very eclectic love of music. On my TikTok is where I tend to do all those music challenges where you lip sync along with the music, and to see if you don't know the songs or if you react. And I try to do a couple of those every couple of weeks. I just think they're fun and they're really interesting to do. And I try to do different genres of music. And like I can even go back all the way to oldies because my mom, who is actually from Detroit, I grew up with Motown with my mom, so I know a shit ton of Motown. And I will sit here and belt out some Four Tops and some Temptations and some Supremes like nobody's business. But when I tend to pick music, I tend to go for rock. I like the feel of the guitar. I like the beat of the drums, and I like the vocal range that rock musicians tend to have a lot more. But you give me a genre of music, I guarantee you I could probably find something in there that I like. And if I have never heard of it, I will find something in there that I like. So, what TV shows and movies do you like? I like anime. I tend to watch anime with my daughter and my husband a lot. My favorite is Inuyasha. That is my go-to. It's my go-to. But when I actually sit down and want to watch TV, I like all different types of TV shows too, but I tend to gravitate towards more historical context television shows like Versailles, Tudors, The Last Kingdom, I think it's called, Final Kingdom. I've seen a few episodes of that. I also like fantasy shows such as The Witcher. Henry Cavill's Geralt, there is no getting better than that. That was great fucking casting. All right, that was perfect. That was fucking poetry casting. I've never read that book. I should probably read that book. But I really enjoyed that show. So television shows, I like historical ones. As big a fan as I am of Outlander, I actually never have watched the show. I have not brought myself to watch the show. I've seen enough clips of it because, Sam Heughan had to, stalk him a little bit because that man's beautiful. So I've seen enough to know that I think it's a very good representation of the books, from what I have seen, at least of the relationship between Claire and Jamie. But I've actually watched that show. I've not brought myself to watch it. I want to wait till the whole show's done so I can just binge the fucking thing. I watched Game of Thrones, Sopranos. That was another big one for me. I love the mob. Sopranos was like, oh my God, I fucking love that show. That was a good one for me. So like big expansive shows that have multiple storylines going in. So yeah, I hope that gave you a better idea of me, but at the same time, I can sit down and watch Bob's Burgers all fucking day long and South Park all day long. Like I can watch damn near anything as long as it's entertaining. But if you're looking for a really good show, I highly recommend Wentworth, on Netflix. If you guys not watched that, I fucking love that. I thought Orange is the New Black was really good. Wentworth, knock that shit out of the fucking water. That thing's fantastic. It's amazing. Go watch it. Movies. I like historical based movies. I like big expansive movies. I like movies with a lot of scenery. I like fantasy movies. I am actually not that big on rom-coms. And when it comes to movies, I think they're kind of just a little cliche. For as much as I like to read romance, I don't actually like watching it. So that's actually kind of a weird thing about me. But my top 5 favorite movies, just to give you an idea, is The Labyrinth, Princess Bride, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, greatest movie, I love that movie, National Treasure, and the 5th one usually tends to vary depending on my mood. It's either Cabaret or Les Mis. So, yep, those are my top 5s. Sometimes it's Cabaret because I feel more like a jazzy mood, and then I feel more operatic mood, and then I say Les Mis. So today it's Cabaret because I'm jazzy. It's the first day of school. My kid's at school. Board of Education took away her parole. Gotta go back to school. How old are you? I'm 35. I'm 35 years old. And what does your husband think of your channel? He doesn't really have an opinion either way. I don't think. He's proud of me that I'm doing this, and he supports me because this is important to me. So he's very supportive. He does watch my videos. He's a little bit behind on my videos, but he does watch them. However, when I have a book such as that's really kinky, like Priest, or when I started talking about The Broadsford's Baby, I did talk to him first about how he felt about me talking about this on camera and posting on the internet. And he was very supportive of it. He said, you know, as long as you're careful and, you know, you understand that you're talking about sex on the fucking internet. So I talked to him about what I'm going to talk about. So he's comfortable with it because it does reflect on him as well, because he does have coworkers that watch these. And so I'm very respectful in regards to that. But other than that, he just supports me and lets me kind of do my thing. He knows it makes me happy and it, quote unquote, keeps me out of trouble, but it keeps his wallet kind of light because of all the books that I buy. So he doesn't like that part, but no, he's very supportive of it, essentially. He doesn't understand it all the time, but very supportive. All right. So those are really great questions, Delia. Thank you so much. Abby Jones asked, what do I do for work? I work at a municipality. I am a water clerk at a municipality close to where I live. So I collect water bills and send them out. That's what I do. And I shut people's water off when they don't pay. Yeah, I'm that bitch. Yeah, it's good times. That's why I get lost in books. So, yeah, that's what I do for work. Abby also asks, what state, region, or province are you from? I am from, originally born, California. I was born in California and I moved to Illinois when I was 10. And I am in Southern California, or Southern Illinois. I was from Southern California and I live in, well, maybe not Southern. Like, when people think of Illinois, they automatically assume Chicago. I am southern of Chicago, but I'm more like centered. I'm around the Springfield area, the capital area. So, yep. All the Lincoln stuff. I was not expecting that question, actually. I was not expecting somebody to ask me that. So props to you, Abby, for that. All right. Not So Average Joe. Oh, Joe asked me stuff. Let's see. Not So Average Joe asked me a couple things. What is your favorite non-romance book? Oh, non-romance book? Oh, fuck me. I don't know. Wow. Let me think. Ooh. It's a book that I haven't read in a long time, but is there romance in it? I gotta think for a second. Yeah, there is romance in it. That's a romance book. It's just a YA romance book. I don't know if I have a favorite non-romance book off the top of my head right now. I have to look up and down my shelves right now. I don't even know because every book I'm thinking of has some element of romance in it. Ooh. Did you stump me so early? What the fuck? No, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Let me think back. Let's think back. Back in the day. Let's see. I read in high school The Wave. I do not remember who wrote it, but I will link it up here. I will put the image up here. This is a fictional story, but it was about something that actually happened. A high school history teacher is teaching about World War II, and a kid asked the question that every history teacher, deals with is, how can an entire country be completely duped that they would allow the Holocaust to happen? And because that's what it's about. It's about the Holocaust. And so he creates this experiment and he makes his class super special. You are special. And they come up with the wave emblem and it just overtakes the school. And I fucking loved it. I had to read it for my sophomore year English class. It was summer reading. And I remember just devouring it. And I still to this day talk about that book. I loved that book. I thought it was excellent. And our English teacher made us write a paper about that book where they had a 10-year high school reunion and they had to come back and kind of talk about what happened. And I got to read mine in class, and there were people crying in my class. And Mrs. Maris, that was her name, she gave me an A+ on it because she said you could hear a pin drop when I was reading it. People were so engrossed in it. And I love that book so much because I didn't do anything nice and soft afterwards. Everybody had a hard life because of what they went through. And I remember loving that book. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Fantastic. There's a maybe minuscule romance, but I would not consider this a romance. But this thing, I remember, I would have to say this is probably my right off the top of my head, what I can think of, my favorite non-romance book, because it was amazing. Like, I still talk about this book to this day. Like, still do. It's great. Good question. Oh, you almost stumped me there, Joe. Almost. She also asked, what are your big goals for your channel? My next goal is to reach 500 subscribers by December. That's my next goal. But grand scheme things, I want to see where this takes me. I love doing the live shows. I love doing the sprints. I love the community that I'm becoming a part of. I think that's fantastic. I would love to be able to one day talk to authors on my channel and actually have a setup where they could, come and I could meet people and, do panels. I really enjoy this, and I would love to do this. I don't want to say full time because I think my husband would kill me because I'd always be home. But just reaching people and talking about books and furthering the idea of reading just in general, whatever genre it is. I mean, I'm primarily reading fantasy and romance and historical fiction. Those are my meat and potatoes. But I want to reach people and tell them, read, because it's super important. And I am a firm believer in the printed word, firm believer in it. So I guess grand scheme is just to reach as many people as I can. Yeah. 3, what is one character that you want to switch places with? Ooh. There's a lot of characters that I want to switch places with, for multiple reasons. I want to switch places with Feyre so I can be with Rhys. I don't want any other bullshit. Like, I want my own attitude, because I'd say time to go fuck off a long time ago, but I want to be with Rhys. I'd also switch places with Claire so I could be with Jamie. Like, I could switch places with a lot of girls just so I could be with my fictional boyfriends. I think if I wasn't going for just the fictional romance part, a character I'd want to switch places with is Anita Blake from Lorca Hamilton's Anita Blake Vampire Slayer series, because she's a badass and I fucking love her. She's pretty kick-ass. I mean, there's Jean-Claude too, so don't get me wrong. But I want to be her for other reasons than just Jean-Claude. So yeah. So those are the 3 off the top of my head that I would switch places with. 4, what is your favorite color? My favorite color is actually like a burnt orange. That nice burnt orange you see on cars. And then fall colors. I like the greens, the reds, the burgundies, the golds. Those are the colors I really, really enjoy, which really sucks for my husband because my husband is red-green colorblind. So if you put red and green together, he can't see it. So our house is usually like gray and muddled to him. So I felt really bad. And I always forget that he's colorblind. Like, I do. It's a common occurrence. I'm really bad about remembering that he's colorblind. But he loves me regardless of it, so it's cool. Favorite song that reminds you of the book? Ooh. I actually just heard a song on the radio the other day that actually reminded me of a book. This usually doesn't happen. Songs don't tend to remind me of books. Unless they're like really like spot on. And The Pretenders' I'll Stand By You. I heard on the radio the other day and I immediately thought of Feyre and Rhys from A Court of Mist and Fury. Immediately. Off the top of my head, I was like, this is Feyre and Rhys' song. Yes, this is their song. So I'm gonna have to say that because that's the one that's clearest in my mind right now. So yeah, I'll link a music video of I'll Stand By You by The Pretenders down below so you can go check it out. It's a beautiful song. I think it came out in the 80s. But yeah, I heard on the radio the other day and I'm like, yeah, that is Rhys and Feyre all the way. Oh, it's great. I actually have a plan for a future video of book recommendations based off of songs, but I have to gather the songs first, but I want it to be more of a natural occurrence like that was. I don't want to just listen to a song and then force a book into it. I want it naturally to come to me. So it'll be a while before you see that video, but it is coming down the pike, way down the way. So great questions, Joe. Thank you so much. All right. Patricia asks, how do you juggle work, house, partner, kids, life, and then have time to read? It's so hard. No shit. It is definitely hard, but I don't. I don't. I mean, I do juggle it, but it's not a juggling act. My daughter's 13, so she's pretty much self-reliant. She entertains herself majority of the time, and we have similar interests as people anyway. We both like to read, we both like to watch anime, we're both pretty sarcastic. So the kid part is actually not really difficult for me. And since I only came into her life when she was 6, she is my stepdaughter, she's not my biological daughter, I didn't have to deal with any of the baby phase. So I got her when she was already talking and communicating, so we talk and communicate all the time. More me to her. I'm still trying to get her to talk to me because she knows she's at age where kids don't say anything to their parents. So juggling her is actually fairly easy. She's in sports, so I have a schedule and I just go by the schedule. And I make sure that she's okay before anything else happens. My partner, he works evenings, so we really only see each other like 2 days a week, and when he comes home from work before I go to bed. So that's actually fairly easily juggled. We're both pretty independent people. We can entertain ourselves. I don't need him to hold my hand the entire time. Just, sometimes to help out. And he does help out with the house, which helps out with that. And then Elizabeth herself has chores. So we all work together in the house to keep it running. My work is awesome. They're really supportive and they're understanding. And my coworker, Amy, is a fucking gem. She's the coolest chick ever. I love her to death. And we work really, really well together. She's got a very small child. So, with my daughter being active in sports, I can go off and do her things. And by the time her child gets old enough to do all that stuff, my child will be out of school. So I can return the favor that she's done for me. So yeah, it is a juggling act, but it's not a hard one to juggle at all. It works out really, really well. And, I have a really good support system. So when days are hard, I have my parents, I have my husband's, parents to help out with Elizabeth, and then I have Elizabeth's biological mother's family to help out with her. So I have a really good support system and structure to make it look super, super easy, but it's not. It's a daily struggle, but we all pitch in and we work together. So I don't juggle it on my own. I have other people juggling stuff with me. And then as having time to read, I discovered Audible, and that is my best friend. And I listen to books at work. I listen to books in the car, and I always make time for me to read at some point in time of the day. Whether it's an hour, 2 hours. I tend to read the most when Elizabeth goes to bed, because she goes to bed around 9:30 is her bedtime, and I don't really go to bed until my husband comes home. And he doesn't get home until like 11 or 12, because it depends if he goes to the gym after work or not. So I have all that quiet time, so I try to get all that stuff done that I need to get done then, and I get my reading done. And also, I don't need a lot of sleep. I only sleep like maybe 5 hours a night. I've been that way my entire life, so that also helps out a lot. So yeah, the struggle is real, but it doesn't feel like a struggle because I have so much help. I have really good support systems. So I hope that answered your question. That's a really good question. I was not expecting that one either. Wow, I was not expecting that. Tracy Brown asked, congratulations. Who's your favorite author genres at the moment? Thank you very much. I am very, very happy about having 300 plus subscribers. That's awesome. Thank you for being one of them. Who my favorite authors and genres at the moment? My favorite authors at the moment currently are Diana Gabaldon, Sarah J. Maas, Francine Rivers, and Jane Henry. I'm really starting to like her. And I don't want to say Sophie Lark is one of my favorites yet, but I definitely see her becoming one of my favorites, because Brutal Prince was just, that thing was awesome. That thing was great. So yeah, those are currently my like favorites off the top of my head. And my favorite genres at the moment are definitely historical fiction, fantasy, and romance. Romance taking the cake most of the times right now. So Great question. Monica, 300 subscribers should be celebrated. It should be. It's a big fucking deal. 300 plus people want to hear me talk. Damn right. And you guys should be celebrated because you actually want to sit here and listen to me blabble on for like 45, 55 minutes. I mean, you guys are rock stars in and of itself just because of that. Well, thank you. Thank you, Monica. All right. Betsy Bear. Okay, so Betsy is actually my best friend from high school. We went to England together, so she knows a lot of stuff about me. So I'm a little nervous. Let's see what she asks, because this could go. This might have to be a video of itself. I don't know. How long have you had your YouTube channel? I originally started in 2016, and I fell off the wagon about October of that year, because 2016 is also the year I started dating my husband, and you know, well, we all know how that worked out. So, I started in 2016 and then I stopped. And then it wasn't until this year that, that I really started to miss it. And I had started my book club with some of my girlfriends and I read A Touch of Darkness and it just kicked my ass and I started reading more and more and more. And I started bothering people about talking about books. And so my husband actually suggested that I start it back up. It was actually him who suggested it. He's like, you should probably start it back up. For Christmas, this past Christmas, he invested in all my hobbies. He bought me books. He bought me a new Cricut. He bought me my new wedding band. He did really good. This is my original wedding band. He invested in every single one of my hobbies that I enjoy. And he's like, I want you to find you again. Because I was going through some weird stuff. I wasn't really myself anymore. And I was just kind of like going through the motions, trying to be somebody that I wasn't. And I spent years of doing that. I spent years. And so, yeah. And it's ironic. It's funny that Betsy's the one that asked this question because she was one of the few people in high school that saw me for me and wouldn't let me be somebody else. She was like, no, you're a nerd. Be a nerd. It's cool. So, great question, Betsy. What's your favorite genre? Okay, so historical fiction is always probably going to be my favorite. It is what I grew up reading. It's what I loved growing. It's like coming home for me. But romance, hold on. Historical fiction, yes. But all my historical fictions, as you can see here, Philippa Gregory is my collection right here. She's also one of my favorite authors. I just haven't read one of her books in a while. Sorry. But yes, she's on that list too. Back to that favorite authors question. Philippa Gregory. I completely, how did I forget her? Shit. Sorry. So all of these have like smutty scenes in them too. So I'm going with historical fiction with an emphasis on the romantic historical fiction, but the more historical, not just historical romances, but historical fictional romances, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I would say that is probably my favorite genre. Do you have a favorite book? Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. My favorite. This is perfect. This is one of the few perfect books that's out there. The other one I don't have with me. It's The Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. And this guy. And then Court of Mist and Fury, which is over there. I don't have it with me right now. It's on another shelf. So yeah, here are my favorites. But this one hands down is my favorite. I love this book. This is perfect in my eyes. It has everything. Also, it has a fucking kick-ass series that goes with it. So yeah. If you've not read it, Betsy, go read this book. Go read it. This book is amazing. Betsy's actually the one that actually turned me on to Philippa Gregory, so time to repay the favor. She also has favorite book to movie. Ooh. I usually don't like the movie versions of books. Damn. I guess I have to say, and I've never read the book. I'm going to read it this month, but I haven't read it yet. Lord of the Rings. But I've never read the book, so I can't actually say if it was good to it. So Just because I love Lord of the Rings. I love that movie. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? It's my third favorite movie of all time, and it's a book by Henry Farrell. The book is good too, but I actually like the movie better than the book in that case. That's one of the few instances where I like the movie better than the book. So, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane by Henry Farrell. It looks like this. Yeah. When do you find time to read all your books? Whenever I can. When Elizabeth goes to bed, I read before I go to bed. I listen to audibles in the car. I listen to audibles while I'm at work, while I'm taking care of water bills. Whenever I can. I read at her games. I read in the car waiting for her to get out of practice. I read on car trips. Just whenever I can. So, great questions, Betsy. Thanks. The next question... The next question is from Lauren Kennedy. Lauren Kennedy is my husband, and he looks like this. This is my husband, and he decided to ask me a question. So let's see what he says. Your channel started with historical fiction and has moved into romance. What's another genre that you would want to read? Maybe he pays more attention to my channel than I thought. He's gonna have to get a kiss for that one. Alrighty then. Well, babe, I am having a good time with Gotrix and Felix, so maybe a little bit more fantasy. I could go with that. I could go with a little bit more, maybe a bit more fantasy heavy, because Gotrix and Felix has actually kind of slightly surprised me that it's not my favorite, but I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more, except for the stupid rat people. You know how I feel about those. I bitched about them enough. I don't like rat people. They're stupid, but you think they're stupid too. So that's why I love you. So I would say more fantasy. Yeah. Love you, babe. All right. Brandy M says, congrats on 300 subscribers. Thank you. What food do you like? Can't stand at all coffee or tea. Oh, okay. I think that's 3 separate questions. What food do I like? I like food in general. I will eat damn near anything. I will try anything once. And if I don't like it, I will try it again later on down the road, because I think your tastes, as you grow, they evolve and change. But I love sushi. You put sushi in front of me, I will eat the shit out of some sushi. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have to not eat anything in a day when I go to eat sushi, because I will eat so much of it that I will feel sick. I love sushi. Love it. Love it. Food I can't stand at all. And this is because I have tried it multiple times and I still do not like it. That is beets. Beets and canned green beans and canned peas. I was forced to eat canned green beans and canned peas at schools when I was younger. And back in our day when we were in school, you had to clean your entire plate off before you go play at recess. And I would never eat the canned green beans. I, to this day, won't eat them. I will eat fresh green beans, but I won't eat canned green beans. So I don't eat green bean casserole. Anything made with canned green beans, I don't eat. I just don't. It's gross. And beets taste like dirt to me. Coffee or tea? I just recently discovered that I kind of like coffee if I do it a specific way. But before, it was neither. It was always Diet Pepsi. So coffee is kind of a new thing. And tea, I like green tea, but I don't like sun tea or iced tea because it tastes like dirt to me. Yeah. I don't like these that taste like dirt. It's a thing. Do you like hot chocolate? If so, what do you put in it? I love hot chocolate. I actually have it looks like a coffee maker, but it is for hot chocolate. It's called a Cocomotion, and we have a dance. Me and my daughter have a Cocomotion dance, and we just kind of do this little Cocomotion dance. I can't do it because you have to be standing up, but I love hot chocolate. That is my jam. That is my jam. I love it in the wintertime. I love curling up with hot chocolate, but I don't put anything in it. I don't put marshmallows. I don't put whipped cream. I don't put peppermint. Fuck that. I like it pure. I like Swiss Miss, and I like it with my Cocomotion, and I use milk. Fuck that water shit. No. Chocolate milk or hot chocolate with milk. So, hot honey in mine. I've never even heard of that, but I will be willing to try it. I will try it for you. I will give it a shot. I normally don't put anything in my hot chocolate, like I just said. I like it plain, but I'll give it a shot. Hot honey. Like, you heat up the honey? Or is that a specific type of honey? Because I do like honey. And thank you for loving my channel. Thank you so much for being a subscriber for me. That's awesome. Yay, thank you. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, just because we're talking about drinks, usually what's in here, this is coffee right now, but usually what's in here is Diet Pepsi. Just so you know. Occasionally there's been alcohol in it. Oh, Abby asked another question. Yay, congrats. Thank you, Abby. Do you have any kids? I do. I have one stepdaughter. I've known none biologically. She's 13. Her name is Elizabeth, and she shares none of my genetics, but she acts just like me. And what's another hobby interest you have other than reading? I actually scrapbook. I have been a scrapbooker since my freshman year in high school. So, a long fucking time. I like to scrapbook. I like to take photos, and I also like to do centerpieces. I actually did all my centerpieces for my wedding, floral centerpieces, and I donate centerpieces to local charities or like blind silent auctions and stuff like that because I enjoy doing them and I like putting them together. So yeah, that's another one of my hobbies. Oh, and I also play Magic the Gathering with my husband. So that's another one. So yeah, I do have other hobbies than just reading books, but books is my main one right now. Midnight, great question by the way. Midnight Lily 103 asks, if you found a portal that could take you to any fictional world, where would you go and who would be your guide? Wow. Whoa. I could go anywhere? Really? Holy shit, hold on. And she also says, congrats on 300. Thank you very much. Oh my God, I could go anywhere? Like anywhere? Ooh. Oh my God, I don't even know. The only thing I can think of right now off the top of my head is the Night Court, because I really want to know what it would look like in real life. Like, I would love to see what it looks like, because I have a vision of it, but I want to know if I'm right. Like, I feel like it looks like a city of black lights, but beautiful and like neon and just colorful and just, that's what I feel like in the stars and the purples and the blues and the greens. I just feel like it would be stunning. So I guess right now I'd say the Night Court, and then of course my guy would be Reese. So yeah. And I'd also even want to go to the Court of Nightmares just to see how dark it is. Like, yeah. I'd say the Night Court. That's a fucking great question. Oh, ooh, good one. Good one, Midnight Lily. Good job. All right, let's see. Beck X Reads says, congrats, 300 is a big deal. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's a goal I'd like to reach one day myself. Oh, I hope you do reach it for yourself. That'd be awesome. And you should totally do this when you reach it. I will totally put a question up there for you. What's a trope or setting you love that isn't popular or underappreciated? Ooh, I don't really think I have one. You know, maybe I do. I am okay with an unhappy ending. I don't need an HEA. Because although romance, you want the happy ending, you want to know everything works out. I don't even know if it's a trope, but like the unhappy ending trope. I'm okay with an unhappy ending. I'm okay with them resolving to never be together because they're toxic or something like that. If it's worthy of an unhappy ending, you know, if the couple together, they realize that they're fucking toxic for each other. Like when I read Priest by Sierra Simone, I didn't want that happy ending. I didn't want it. I would have been content with that book. That book would have been 5 stars for me if they didn't end up together. So maybe the ending that, you know, it's not always happy because, yeah, I love to have fairy tales exist, but they don't in real life. They don't. And sometimes in romance, I want something more real. So, not all the time, but I would say like an unhappy ending trope. Yeah. Good question. An underappreciated one. I don't know if I have one that's underappreciated. I'll have to think about that one more. I don't have an answer for that one right now. So, but yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good question. I would say, yeah, the unhappy ending, because I don't mind pain every once in a while. I don't mind it. It reminds you that you're here, and that, you know, yeah, I'd say that. Macy. Ha! Hey, Macy. Macy is my buddy who works at my bank. And I talk to her every time I go in the bank, and we talk about books. She's awesome. Congrats on 300. Thank you very much. If you could reread any book for the first time, what would it be and why? Ooh. I would say Outlander. But every time I've read that book, it feels like the first time. So I don't want to say that. I've already said it for a few answers. A book that I could reread for the first time. What would I reread? The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. I read that book when I was in college, and I started off hating that book. I hated it in the beginning. I was like, this is stupid. I hate this. This is dumb. This is ridiculous. And by the end of the book, I was the only one in the class that loved it, and everybody else in the class hated it because of the resolution in it. That book was awesome for me. Yeah. Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. I would reread that for the first time again. It's also one of 3 autographed books that I have. So, yeah, I would reread that one. Great question, Macy. That's not the question I thought you were going to ask, though. Monica asked another question. And this is our last question, guys. Last question. All right, Monica, what romantic trope would you like to live and why? Oh. I.e. reverse harem, hate to love, forced proximity with a mountain man, breeding king. Oh, shit. oh, God. What romantic trope would I like to live? I know which one I don't want to live off the top of my head. I do not want to live enemies to lovers because of who I am. If I consider you an enemy, I don't feel anything for you. Like, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm very avoiding of you and things of that nature. So if I don't like a person, it's not going to be pleasurable for me at all. Let's put it that way. Not like they are in the books for the enemies to lovers tropes. Because, yeah, hate to love are literally the same coin, just different sides. But for me, no. If I hate you, I hate you. I'm not going to fall in love with you. And I'm not going to want to ever fuck you. The only fucking I want to do is fucking you over. So, yeah. Enemies to lovers is a definite no. But if I could live one out... Oh, you know, I'm not an outdoorsy girl. I'm not. I'm fully aware of this about myself. But a forced proximity with, like, an outdoorsy person, I could get behind that. My husband's pretty outdoorsy. I mean, he's a hunter. So, and he likes to be outside. At least during specific times of the year. We get that because he will watch this. Like, during specific times of the year, he likes to be outside. So I guess I could go for that one, maybe. And maybe it's also because I just read A Property of Mountain Man, and so I've got like the Mountain Man like image in my head right now. Maybe. Breeding kink, I can tell you right now, no. I have like no desire to be pregnant. So no, that's a hard no on me. You mentioned reverse harem. If the reverse harem is Sam Heughan, Henry Cavill, and other pretty men, then then yeah, sure. I'll take that one. But not like the reverse harems that I've been reading where the girls like do stupid shit to herself. Like, oh, fuck that. Like, no, this is like, I'm in charge here. You're just my men of choosing. Like, I'm going to choose you when I want to, and that's that. No, I maybe forced proximity. I could probably see that one happening. If I had to choose my real life to live one out, I maybe say forced proximity because it seems like the most realistic for me. all the other ones don't really seem like they would really work for me. Friends to lovers didn't work. I've tried it. It didn't work. I lost the lover and the friend in both, so that didn't work. And hate to love is kind of enemies to lovers with me. It's no. It doesn't really happen that way. I've had lovers turn into enemies, so there's that. But yeah, I would say the forced proximity. And the mountain man, just, who doesn't want a mountain man? Like, who doesn't want someone that can fend for themselves and build shit and take care of you and, you know, in the wilderness? As long as I don't have to deal with bugs, I'm fine. I don't do bugs at all. Nope. Oh my God, that's it. Those were my questions, guys. Those were great. Those were fantastic. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. Well, that is what I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed all my answers. And if you have any more questions, feel free to hit me up. I'll start answering the comments again. But I hope you guys enjoyed this and you got to know a little bit more about me and my likes and dislikes and just kind of my all craziness in general. So yeah, I will see you guys all soon with another video. Thank you again. Sorry, I'm waving and I'm stopping. That's fine. Thank you all again for subscribing to me, new and previous. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. This means a lot to me. And the fact that, like, some of these questions these are, wow. So, okay. I'm going to end this video before it gets to be 55 minutes. Have a good day, guys. Bye.